Welcome to another episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk and another edition of When Sports Meets Entertainment. I'm here with a very fine, talented model, Jewel. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. We met at the Aces Overtime Elite events back
We
in
did.
back in last November, and I just saw you at the Jordan Brand Classic, and I see you like to the sports games along with your modeling career. But before we get to your knowledge of sports, why don't we talk a little bit about why you got interested in doing modeling from the beginning?
Okay, so when I was 16, I kind of had the urge to model, just seeing like Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Beverly Johnson. They all inspired me, just seeing women of color just navigate the runways, and they were always dominating. So I just felt like I needed to be a part of it because I saw beautiful Black women on screen doing amazing things. And I think just to shout out Tyra Banks, she wasn't just a model, she's also a businesswoman. She has so many different avenues that she was dabbling into, and she just made so much money, and she's such an inspiration to all little Black girls around the world. So that's pretty much why I got started. And I also just always love fashion. And I think for me, when I started, a big part of it was the character that I could jump into when I'm on the runway or in front of the camera. It's almost like an alter ego. So I like being able to like switch back and forth. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, Tyra Banks, I've always kind of known about her ever since like a while now. And I'll admit, Tyra Banks does look stunning in all the amazing outfits she wearing, whether it's for swimsuit modeling or just modeling on like in made different collections. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know for sure.
Now, when you look up to all these celebrities that like to do modeling, like how does that kind of like get you interested?
What do you mean? Sorry.
I mean, yeah, when you mentioned Tyra Banks, you mentioned Campbell, like they literally inspire you to like become a model. And
so when I was 16,
outfits that you witnessed them wearing that you enjoyed the most.
I think for me, what I enjoyed the most was the Victoria's Secret and the SI. So like Tyra and Naomi, they were like the first Black models to walk the Victoria's Secret runway. Tyra was the first Black model to cover the SI Sports Illustrated magazine. Things are so different now, but when it first came out, it was such a big deal because there was like very few Black models. So I think for me, the most inspirational part of their careers were like SI, Victoria's Secret, for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just about the models that actually doing the work. It's mainly. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I gotta pause. All right. Well, not only do you see so many models like modeling just for the sake of doing it, but you also got performers like Beyonce or Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and many different
R&B. Yeah, everyone's a model now.
Taking part of the modeling gigs. I mean, even if they're not necessarily doing it as like a full-time job, they also do it like a side hustle. And I know a few people that do modeling as a side hustle, like Ari Chambers, the model. I mean, you got to look her up to understand what I'm talking about. And yeah, one of the most memorable SI cover magazines happens to be when Beyonce was posing for Sports Illustrated.
You said, how do I feel about that?
I said, how could we forget the time where Beyonce was posing for Sports Illustrated?
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, because Beyonce, she's just simply amazing. I love Beyonce. I think the majority of people love Beyonce. So anything Beyonce does is just monumental. Like everything she does, she can do no wrong.
Yeah, while we're on the subject, like what were some of your favorite magazine covers that you watched from the time you started like becoming the model? Started with Victoria's Secret.
So my favorite magazine cover actually is Teen Vogue. It's of Chanel Iman and Jordan Dunn. So I was in high school when they first came out. And they were already like, I think they're a little older than me. So they were already, I think, teenagers or early 20s. So I think I was in my freshman and sophomore year when that issue came out. And I think that was my favorite cover because, you know, Tyra Banks and Naomi, I was a kid when they were already adults. So like they were my first inspiration, but Chanel Iman and Jordan Dunn were definitely like the women who were doing it, actively doing it when I started to pursue it. So to see that magazine cover, I was like, oh yeah, like I have to like get in on this. Like they had slick back ponytails, and the outfits were amazing, and it just was so refreshing to see. So that definitely was my favorite cover.
Yeah, I could only imagine. And now you got now. So what about the Sports Illustrated magazine covers that you witnessed? Because yeah, you got WNBA players. being posted for magazines as
Yeah.
well. And college basketball players, even Angel Reese, before she made to the WNBA over a year ago, she posed for Sports Illustrated. We can't forget that.
No, we can't. And I just saw her at the Met Gala too. And I saw her Vogue shoot. She looked absolutely amazing. Like, and I love Angel Reese because it just shows like femininity mixed in with sports as well. Like, so she looks great. Absolutely loved it. And I definitely saw that cover too. She looked amazing.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of the Met Gala, like, I mean, obviously there was made people in general that posted for the Met Gala. Why don't you tell me some of your favorite outfits that a celebrity or athlete was wearing at the Met Gala this past weekend? Because
Okay, so as far as athletes, I love Angel Reese's look. I thought it was very dreamlike. It was like a fairy. It was green. I loved her ponytail look. I thought it was very sleek. She looked great. I loved Kerry Washington's look. She had on a purple gown that was floor length all the way down to the floor. I love Gabrielle Union's look. And for another look, I would say, it's so hard because everyone looks so great. Oh, I love Kiki Palmer's look. Mainly her hair. She had a high ponytail that just, it was very like queen like, very ancient like, kind of like an Egyptian vibe going on. So I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Mhm.
But obviously, Angel Reese was flawless. Oh yeah, we can't forget about Ben Simmons. Even though, I mean, for a guy,
Oh, and you know what? I loved Trayvon Diggs' look as well.
yeah, you can't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget about Trayvon Diggs' outfit. I mean, man.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, everybody that went to the Met Gala was looking stunning. I know you wish
Yeah.
you were there. I mean,
No.
I wish you were there. I mean, you were
Yeah,
there.
I wish
But
I was there for sure. I'm waiting on the invite one day. One day.
don't worry, your invite will come, Jewel, because
No,
you're.
but yours will too. Both of us.
Yeah, I was actually at Manhattan trying to get as close to the red carpet as possible, but security said access denied. But luckily, Shantae was able to get some footage. That you can check out her short and sweet blog on
Oh,
Instagram,
dope.
where she took a lot of footage of all the amazing celebrities that were showing out, coming out of the hotel. We went down there for the Met Gala.
Yeah, everyone looked amazing. I think it's like fashion's night out. I love it. Like you can't get enough of it. Every year, the first Monday in May.
Exactly, and while we get back to Angel Reese, I was listening to Chicago Sky Media Day earlier today, and she was talking about how she managed to like balance out about being in Chicago for practice to flying to New York for the Met Gala, and she couldn't stay for the after party because she had to go back to Chicago to play a preseason game against the New York Liberty, which the guy steamrolled, by the way, but it's just preseason. I'm gonna let it rock. But she showed what she could do. And Angel Reese showed you that you could be focused on basketball and still be focused on modeling at the same time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just so great to watch her navigate both worlds and show that you can be a woman and still balance it all. You can be a woman and have it all, and you don't have to stick in one box. You don't have to stay in a box. You can do literally everything and still focus on what you need to focus on.
Yes, that's how it is. And speaking of focusing on it, like for the beginning of your modeling career, like what are some of the first project or first few projects or magazines or commercials that you modeled in?
So I would say one of my very first jobs was actually Kanye West Yeezy season. So that was one of my very first jobs, and I thought it was a great project. It was a very interesting project. It definitely was a like non-traditional runway, so it was definitely cool for my first experience. So I love that. Another one of my first projects was I did Project Runway for Dom Streeter. She ended up winning Project Runway that year, so I walked her show, like her debut, after winning the challenge on the show. So that was another one of my first projects. And another early project I would say, was walking for Laquan Smith in New York Fashion Week. So that was another one.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And when you looking back at those experiences, like was there ever a time where you like get nervous? Because I know during those, because obviously those are times you just like beginning to show out in the modeling industry.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, like I used to get nervous, but I feel like as soon as I hit the runway, the nerves kind of go away. So it's like I'm nervous as a person, but the model version of me is not nervous, if that makes sense. So like when I'm working, but as soon as I'm on the runway, it's like it's showtime. I don't have time to be nervous because if I'm nervous, it's gonna show on my body, it's gonna show on the clothes. And it's just kind of like you just kind of zone out. To be honest, when you get on the runway, you really can't see much anyways because of all the bright lights. And there's a lot of photographers just taking pictures at the end of the runway. So it's kind of like you see people, but you don't really see them. So it's not as bad as like, people make it seem like.
Exactly. And get
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's just a matter of being focused on posing for magazine because you got people
Yeah.
taking pictures that of some of the best study outfits that you're wearing, whether it's
Yeah.
runway or in the beach or anything
Hmm.
equivalent to swimsuit week.
Yeah. Yeah. Swim week is coming up in Miami.
Yeah, and I know they have
Yeah.
swim week in New York as well. New York
Yeah,
Swim.
they do. Yep.
So yeah, why do you think that it's important for people to pose for swims to pose? Okay, sorry, I'm kind of butchering my question, but
No, it's okay.
why do you think it's important for like people to model during the summer, especially wearing some of the most stylish bikinis and swimsuit wears
Hmm.
in this industry?
I think it's important people to model in the summer because I think it's important for people to love their bodies and to show their bodies. I think people should be proud of what they're working with. I feel like body inclusivity is a big deal. And I feel like no matter what size you are, no matter how tall you are, how small, big, like it doesn't matter. Just be confident and wear what you want to wear. And as long as you're confident, you're going to look great. And I think that it's all about, I think part of being confident in your body is a part of like wellness. So, eating healthy and working out and incorporating it also when it's time to show your body you feel good, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, I know, and I see you do a lot of
Mhm.
workouts on Instagram
I do.
day. Like how good of a feeling is it to continue working out to maintain that beautiful body of yours when you on the runway?
Oh, thank you. It feels it's very important, and it feels good because honestly, working out for me really isn't all about the physical. It's really about the mental. So working out releases endorphins, it raises your serotonin levels. So just working out, it's a full mind, body, and soul experience for me. So, and just moving my body is so important. Whether it's walking, kickboxing, dance class, Pilates, any form of cardio, running, just moving my body in any way is a workout to me. Stretching, yoga, like even very minimal. Because for me, although I am always concerned and always working to stay in the best shape I can, it's more important to me for my mind to be healthy as well because you can do all the workouts you want to do, but if your mind is not right, then you won't be healthy. If your soul is not right, then you won't be healthy. So for me, it's really just about working out so I can stay happy, I can feel refreshed, I can be sharp. So yeah, working out for me is really important for my mental health on top of the physical.
Exactly, because when you're working out, that's how you maintain good body and
Hmm.
health. Like
Yeah.
when you're working out, like what are some of the workout sets that you love doing the most from the least favorite to the favorites?
Okay, so honestly, I don't have a least favorite workout because I don't do things that I don't enjoy. Because if I do things that I don't enjoy, I'm not able to connect to the workout well, and I'm not able to stay present while I'm working out. Because I think when you do things that you don't enjoy, like working out or certain workouts, you won't be able to connect and be fully present. Like, so I try to stick to workouts that I love. So when I get there, I'm excited to be there. I'm present. I'm focused on why I'm here because I think anybody that works out knows that sometimes you can get to the gym and if you're not focused, you have no idea why you're there. You don't know why. You don't know what you're gonna do today. You're not focused when you're doing your reps or your timing and all that stuff. So for me, my favorite workouts would definitely be. I love cardio workouts. I love cardio, and what's funny is I think I love cardio a lot just because I played basketball growing up. So I feel like it's kind of like muscle memory. So I love to run. I love anything high intensity. But then I also love things that are lower intensity too. So for the higher intensity, I love running. I love kickboxing. I love doing hit workouts where you go back and forth between high intensity and low intensity, like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. So I enjoy stuff like that. I enjoy circuits in working out. So going from like a station to a station, kind of similar like in basketball training camp where you go like station to station. You may be doing offense here, defense here. So I like stations. And for the low impact workouts, I absolutely love yoga. I'm actually in school now for yoga teacher training. So I'm excited about that. So I love yoga and I love Pilates and I love bar classes for the low intensity workouts.
That's what you gotta do. I mean, you got to make sure
Yeah.
that you're fit for any upcoming projects you have. And I know, and I
Mm.
understand that weeks ago that you had some any recent modeling projects that you, or should I say, any recent projects that you modeled for in recent weeks that you like to share?
Yeah, so I actually I did some e-commerce work for the brand called Nookie. It's a fashion brand. They're located in Australia, so I work with them. And modeling right now is it's a little slow because I took a break. So I actually took a modeling break when the pandemic started, so I can go back to school and kind of just get some things done that I had put off in the past for modeling. So it's a little slow, but it's definitely going to pick up soon. That I'm going to be re-signing by the summertime.
Exactly. With the summertime coming up, you had to make
Yeah.
sure that you're locked in because I would
Yeah, no, for sure.
different outfits that you're wearing and how many fashion events that you're going to. And yeah, that's
I'm sorry,
pretty
what'd
much
you say?
it. I said I would love to see many different projects and bring
Oh,
to modeling for this summer coming up,
yeah,
especially
no, I'm super
especially where
excited.
especially where the swimsuit attire. I mean, as
Hmm.
somebody that's been in this industry for a long time, what is like your favorite swimsuit attire that you love to wear the most?
You said swimsuit attire?
Yes.
Oh, I love a good bikini. Anything bikini. I love bright colors. I absolutely love color, as you can see. I love color, pinks, blues, yellows, oranges, anything that makes my skin color pop. I absolutely love. So I love a good two-piece with color. I'm pretty simple though with design. I like more of the solid colors versus like too many prints.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. I mean, come on now. You look great. You look great in any color to me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, but that's pretty much. Well, can we expect you to take part in New York Swim Week this year coming up, or at least 8 day close to Swim Week?
So swim week, I'm not too sure on, but New York Fashion Week for sure. And Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. I'll be going overseas this year. So for sure. Early September, mid-September, I'll be going overseas. So yeah.
Wow, seems like you got
Mhm.
everything lined up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely the kind of person that has to have everything lined up, just slowly building back up. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. But I understand.
Mhm.
You mentioned earlier in the conversation that you played basketball. Did you actually like had a basketball career, or you just played for fun? And what you enjoyed about it?
So I played for fun. Even though I played for fun, I played all year long from the age like 8 all the way to my senior year in high school. And I did AAU, I did the fall league, the summer leagues. Like I played basketball nonstop. It was like my whole entire life. But a part of me always knew that I wanted to model and that I wanted to make a career out of it. So I stopped playing basketball my senior year, but I really enjoyed it. It was like the best, one of the best parts of my life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basketball does help even for people that don't necessarily have a basketball career. And it's always good
Yeah.
to make sure you have a hobby, like a hobby on the side.
Yeah, I think for me, like basketball, it created like discipline and perseverance, a good work ethic. So it's definitely I think like with basketball, as you probably know, that it can do so much more than just playing basketball. It can teach you life lessons. Friendships are built, connections are built, great relationships are built. So yeah.
Yeah, and me and you connected to
Yeah,
basketball
we did. Yeah.
at the
That's
Aces
like I haven't
Overtime
played
Elite
in so
event.
long, but oh sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah, and me and you connected so well at the Aces Overtime Elite event last fall.
Yeah.
It's looking stunning as
Oh,
always.
thank you.
When,
Thank
like
you.
when you watch the basketball event back in November in Peru
Mhm.
College, like, what are some of the enjoyments you get out of it compared to other basketball events you've been to in the past?
I'm sorry, you said what is the what I get out of it?
I said, what are some enjoyable elements that you had watching the Aces Overtime Elite event and the Jordan Brand Classic compared to other basketball games you went to in the past?
Oh, I think for me, just watching the youth play, like the high schoolers play, and just seeing how dynamic they are, how powerful they are, the pace that they play at. I feel like the kids of this generation, they play so fast, they're so talented, their skill level. And I think what I took from it is just like, even though it's like a serious game, at the same time, I felt like the players were having fun, they were showing off their skills, they played positive, there's great attitudes. And it's just, I think overall the environment, like the crowd, the fans, it's a great time. I feel like it's just a great environment to be in. It's a positive environment. It's uplifting. It's exciting. So that's what I take from it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a perfect example of how entertainment and sports can come together
Exactly.
because you're somebody that's a model, which is kind
Yeah.
of like entertainment in a way, but you've also
Yeah.
played basketball and you go to basketball games. Which leads to
Yeah.
the question: why European sports entertainment always came together in many different ways?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always come together, even like through music as well. But I think even as we know, like the Met Gala, like we see NBA players and WNBA players mixing in with fashion, going to the Met Gala. I think it's so cool because I feel like a lot of times, sometimes people like to stay in the box, but I love to see the guys in their fashion, like Ben Simmons and Trayvon Diggs. I think PJ Tucker went one year. It's just nice to see them all like dressing and mixing in and just mixing both worlds. I think it's definitely a cool sight to see. I think with social media and more influence for every celebrity and people in entertainment, I think it's what people want to see. So yeah.
Yeah, we need to see more of that. Now,
Yeah.
as you're watching all the women that were showing out at the Met Gala, like what
Yeah.
outfit would you wear for a day or two to any fashion event?
I would definitely wear a gown. I'm a dress girl. I absolutely love dresses. So anything long, sexy. I love sheer things. I love glitz and glam. I just think, yeah, anything long, sexy. Definitely some color, like nothing black. Anything pink, red, purple. Anything looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some pretty, yeah, I saw the pictures at Met Gala, pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's amazing.
is that the same feeling would that be the same thoughts if you like going to a red carpet event?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love red carpet events. Just the whole process of getting my hair done, my makeup done, the look. I think just like putting the entire look together is what really makes me love the whole process. And then when you get there, it's like the lights. You just feel it's a moment. So I enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that's all you can do is enjoy the moment. It's but so for
Yeah,
somebody that's worked in this industry for a very long time. Like what
yeah.
advice do you have for people that are looking to start a modeling career, whether you're doing it in your younger days or in your 20s or your 30s?
You said what advice?
What advice do you have for people that are looking
Um
to like get a modeling career started off, whether you're in your 20s or 30s, or even before those ages that
Yeah,
just
because I'm glad that you said that in your 20s and 30s because like modeling used to be a thing where you had to like start by the time you were 16. But now it's like with the world has changed so much and everything is so inclusive, you can literally start modeling at any age now. Like you could be 40 and model, you could be 35 and model. So I'm glad you mentioned that because like age is like really no longer a factor in modeling. So I think that's awesome. But advice that I would give would be to stay true to yourself and just be authentic and there's no other superpower than just simply just being yourself because when you start you're going to get pulled many different ways and people are going to try to put you in a box and tell you who you are, but it's just so important to know who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, how you feel, like all that stuff matters. So I would say to just not lose being your authentic self and stay true to yourself, your morals, your values. And I will also say to make sure that you understand that you're a human being before you're a model and that you're not just a model, that there are many other things that you can do outside of modeling and to really use modeling as a stepping stone to another world or a stepping stone to support other avenues of work that you want to do, that it doesn't have to be all about modeling because it can sometimes kind of wear and tear on you because you're being judged off the way you look like 100% of the time. Like they say have a good personality, but the majority of it is really just the way you look and it's really about a designer's vision. So you can't please everyone and you can't and the biggest thing is to not take anything personal because you can get rejection is a big part of modeling. You get rejected a lot. So you can't take it personal because it's not a personal thing. It's just about a vision, a look, a moment. It's really about how the designer feels. So it's something that you can't take to heart and take personal. That's why I really mentioned making sure that you have other things for yourself that people can't take from you or people can't tell you that you're this and you're that. Just have things that fulfill you, if that makes sense.
exactly
I know that was such
exactly.
a long answer.
No, it's no, everything's fine. You're doing
Okay,
great. I mean,
thank you.
it's not. I mean, it's not too often that I get to interview a fine model like you. I mean, outside of
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Thank you.
yeah, but no, nevertheless, like for somebody that's been in this industry a long time,
Mhm.
I mean, was there any moment where you receive any inappropriate compliments or something like that? And if you have, like, how are you able to like brush it off and move forward with yourself when that happens?
Yeah, I have received inappropriate comments when I was 16 and I think at the time I was so young. I think one of the good things about when you're young is that sometimes you may not realize the severity of things. So you may not take it as personal or as serious. So when I was 16, some things were said, and at the time I was so young, I didn't really understand how, how what that person said, how much power it had. So I actually didn't take it personal at the time. So I navigated it as just brushing it off, if that makes sense. And I think there's a space for addressing things and bringing it up. And I think as long as you're safe, that you can address it when it's necessary, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, and that's how people get
Yeah.
flourish when they're in this when you're in this industry. Rather, you're doing it from a younger age or doing it
Yeah.
literally, or you started doing it yesterday.
Yeah. Like you just have to speak up. I think, and you know what? I feel like I think safety is number one. So because worries, people can say anything, right? But I think safe if you as long as you're physically safe, that's important. And as long as someone is not threatening you, that's important. So I think the last would be like the inappropriateness. It's good to address it, and it's good to let people know how you feel. But at the time that it happened to me, I was 16, so I kind of brushed it off. I think now would be something I would address right on the spot, but I was 16, so I just kind of brushed it off. But my advice to people would be to address it, especially if you're uncomfortable or physically uncomfortable, to definitely address it when it happens and to not let anything slide. But if it's just words that aren't threatening or words that can't hurt you, I would just brush it off and address it when the time is right.
Exactly. You have
Yeah.
to address eight things you don't like about what people say. You have to address it, which is what I kind of do all the time as somebody that's
Yeah.
really in any industry right now. But
Yeah, I know.
yeah, you
I know,
just have to.
especially for you because you're always talking to people and you're always in a personal vibe. So I know things can get kind of crazy for you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't
Yeah.
even say how many interviews I've had with my co-hosts where I get a laugh because how the guy reacts when he's answering my questions to the interview
Yeah.
questions during my interviews and conversational shows. It can get intense. When you come to the
Yeah.
show for later sports conversations with my friends who I do it with often and often, you'll
Hmm.
get a sense of the type of vibes that.
Yeah, and but you know what though? I've seen some of your interviews and like you're always so professional. So it seems like you have a pretty good like level head where you can like diffuse anything that gets too crazy, or you know how to respond. You've been doing this for a long time and you do so well. So
Yeah, you've been doing modeling for a long time. Yeah, and it feels like you look good in any color.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And with that, that was this is nothing but that sports talk presents with sports meets entertainment. Thank you for stopping by, Jewel.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I'm so glad we finally got to connect.
Yeah,
Mm.
and for Jewel, Rafiq was on. We'll see you next time.
See you soon. Thank you.